Hi everybody! So it is time to make more tallow. I just had a repeat customer call me and order a ton of product. And so that's amazing and wonderful, and I'm super excited that she's loving it so much that she wants to share it and give it as Christmas presents for friends and family. So I'm super excited. However, that left me extremely low on a lot of product. So it's time to make more. So if you have been watching me for a while, you know that over the summer, I think it was early summer, I went to the local butcher that I get my beef tallow from, or my beef fat from, and I got 50 pounds of it from him so that I would have plenty to keep working with over time, and I wouldn't have to go to him every time I was going to need to make new product. So I took that 50 pounds, I cut it all up, I did a first render on all of it, and then stuck each cake in the freezer so that all I had to do, excuse me, I'm falling over, all I had to do was pull it out and finish with 2 or 3 dry renders, and then it would be ready to mix. So this is what I'm doing. So this is stuff that was already wet rendered once. So wet rendering means that I put the suet fat into a crock pot with water and salt, and then I let it render down, cook down for usually about 12 to 24 hours, depending upon how I think it looks. And then I drain it off. I put it into a bowl. I let it harden in the refrigerator. And then I take it out, scrape out as many impurities as I can, and then I freeze it. So that's what I've done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this stuff, I'm going to put it on the lowest heat possible until it is all melted. Ooh. Just pour water out. And the water all boils off. Yes, even with water in it, once it gets hot enough and it melts down, the water will boil out of the melted tallow. Actually, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to chunk these up a little bit. It's already starting to melt a little, but the smaller the chunks, the quicker this is going to melt. So I think I'm going to chop these up a little bit. Do is once this is all completely melted, I'm going to sit and watch it and wait for it to finish bubbling off or boiling off the water so that I can get as much of the water out of this tallow as possible. Because the water, if you don't get all of the water out of it, that is what will make the tallow, even after you have whipped it, added all your ingredients, water is what will make it start to go bad and rancid, and you'll start to get a really nasty smell and possibly get mold and things like that in it. So you want to make sure that you boil off any and all water. It also helps to get more impurities out of it. So like I said, this is going to sit on the stove on the very lowest temperature possible. I'll let it all completely melt, and then it will start boiling off the water, and I will let that render for about an hour or 2, just depending upon when it stops bubbling. So I will try to show you when it starts to do that. Okay, so you can see it boiling here. So what it's doing is it's boiling off the water that was still in the tallow. So I will keep boiling this at the lowest heat possible until this stops boiling. And then I will strain it into a bowl and let it cool in the refrigerator. All right, so my next step is to strain this into a bowl and then put it in the fridge. So I have what's called a honey strainer. And the reason why I like this is because it actually goes through a two-step straining process. Is I take a couple of paper towels and I put it in between the two so that I get even more straining. So I take out as many impurities as possible. So we're gonna pour this into here. And it's gonna strain through so that any impurities still in there are gonna get caught either by the strainers or by the paper towels. And you can see all the impurities still in the bottom there. Let's see if I can. So that's strained through. You can see that beautiful golden tallow. All right, so you can kind of see in there, you see that brown spot? So that shows you right there that there was still a lot of sediment in there. Oh, there's still some draining off. We are done. Look at that beautiful tallow. Not quite as clear as it's gonna be. This is only number 2. So this is dry render number 1. So we're gonna do at least 1 or 2 more of these before it's ready to whip up, add my jojoba and my vitamin E and whatever else we're going to infuse this with. I've got lavender and vanilla I need to do. I've got vanilla bean I need to do. I've got frankincense. Got quite a few. So we're gonna see how long this is gonna take. This is gonna sit on the counter for a little bit just to cool off a little more because it's still blazing hot. And then once it cools off a little bit, then I will put one of my shower caps on it, stick it in the fridge, and let it harden overnight. And then it'll be ready to dry render again tomorrow. All right, see y'all later. Love ya. God bless. Bye.